This is Bruce Boudreau, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take for Tuesday, February the 21st. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Tonight, the Canucks lost 5-4 to the Nashville Predators in a shootout. And maybe you liked the result. Maybe you loved the result. Maybe you hated the result. I'll talk about my feelings in a couple minutes. But before we get going, let's do this. Moderators, first and foremost. Thanks to you in advance. Do what you got to do. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks to all of you and everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, in Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world. Thank you for being here. You know that I do not take you for granted. You know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here, I always appreciate you. I never take you for granted. So subscribe so you can get active in the chat section and so you can get my videos every single day. Like the video. 30 of you in here already, which is awesome. Only 11 likes. Let's bump that up to 15 or 20. Let's do that. You can leave a donation, get the donation train out of the station. You can gift memberships like Carol did yesterday. You can become a member. You can upgrade your membership and certainly get active in the chat section. That's the most important thing right now. Listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And as always, I'll go for the first 15 or 20 minutes. Then I will turn it over to you. In the meantime, I won't read many of your comments, but you're welcome to interact with each other in the comment section. What I do is I read out any membership messages or any donations for sure. Speaking of donations, I think I've set the volume. I think what happens is when I mess with the volume, it kind of throws everything off. So I've set the volume once, and I'm just going to see what happens. But of course, we won't know until someone leaves a donation. That's not a hint. I'm just telling you, we will see what happens, and I'm not going to touch the volume anymore. I want to talk about the game, then I want to talk about Luke Shen, and then I'll throw it over to all of you. Sound good? Sounds great. So let me present to you what we saw tonight. And Harry comes in first with the first donation. And Harry says, "Hi, Clay. Did you hear about Luke Shen's trade speculations?" Yes, Harry, I have heard about it. I actually vlogged about it earlier in a YouTube short. And actually, the title of this live stream is called Luke Shen on the Verge of Being Traded. So yes, I did see it for sure. So thank you. And I will get to that in about 5 to 10 minutes or so. Thank you, Harry, for the love. And by the way, how was that? Could you hear the horn? And could you hear me talking over it? That is the entire point. So Harry, thank you for the generous donation. The Canucks generally played well. And even Quinn Hughes said he doesn't want to say they dominated the game, but they actually played quite well. And we'll go through the goals really, really quickly. Cole Smith scores on, it was a big mess in front of Colin Delay. It was actually Tyler Myers and Christian Wolanin were somehow together. Then it was the Miller and Besser line, and no one seemed to clear the puck. And Tyler Myers was caught in no man's land. Stop me. You guys couldn't hear the horn. Okay, that's okay. It was very faint, almost too faint, but Carol heard it. Oh, okay. Well, I'd rather have it too faint than blowing your ears off. And so it wasn't a great start. It was a little scrambly, and 5 minutes in, Nashville takes the lead on that Cole Smith goal. And then Tomasino scores on a power play. This one, okay, you give the Canucks a pass a little bit because they are shorthanded, yet Tyler Myers got walked. And so you're going to hear Tyler Myers on all 4 Nashville goals because he was on the ice for all 4 Nashville goals. So Tomasino beats Myers to the front of the net, and now it's 2-0. Then Kuzmenko scores on a really great breakaway pass from Bear, and he does that really good snapshot to the right side of the net, and he beats UC Saros there. And then the Canucks score on a power play, a really strong slap pass from Garland to Besser. Besser deflects it onto the net. It goes through Saros, and then Sheldon Dries makes a really good play and puts it behind Saros into the net. And then you think you're going into the second intermission tied at 2. But then just 12 seconds later, and it was brutal. If you watch the replay, Nashville wins the face-off, and they just all rush. And guess who? It was Myers. It was Stillman. It was this one was the Oman Joshua Dries line. And what was crazy is on this goal, I think this is one that Tyler Myers ended up. Well, almost every goal, Tyler Myers ends up somehow behind Colin Delia, which you're not doing anything there because you're not getting the puck off of the offensive player, and you're actually in Colin Delia's way as well. Carol donated, so we're gonna try and see. I'm not gonna adjust the horn volume. I'm just gonna play it right now, and then I'm gonna talk over it. Let's see what happens. So Carol, thank you for the $5 donation. I just wanted to wish you a wonderful upcoming month and more success to your subscribers up to 10,000. Let's make that happen, everybody. Choo choo. So yes, we climbed a few subscribers today after my YouTube short, but let's give some love to Carol in the chat. Thank you, Carol, for the donation. And tell me if you guys heard that one. Did you hear that one? Did you hear that one? I'm spending more time talking about the volume of the goal horn than I am talking about the actual game. Well, let me know if you heard that one a little bit better. So then it was ridiculous. Niederreiter puts the puck behind Colin Delia, and you can't give up a goal in the last 30 seconds, last 20 seconds of a period, and you certainly can't give up a goal 12. Yeah, you guys are saying now you heard it and it's too loud, but I didn't change the volume. That's so crazy. IC didn't hear the first one, and then he says now it's too loud, but I didn't touch the thing. That's weird. You can't give up a goal 10 seconds remaining in the period. So the Canucks are down 3-2. Then Mikael Granlund scores the fourth goal. I can't remember this one now. Yeah, this is the one where Myers fell at the blue line. And then I think all three forwards, Miller, Besser, and Garland, had a chance to get the puck out, or not really a chance, but at least the puck bounced off them or whatever. And then on this goal, I'm almost pretty sure that Myers was again behind Delia or standing in the crease. So Tyler Myers was on the ice for all 4 Nashville goals. One of them was a power play goal, so it doesn't count. So he's a -3. He was a -3 tonight because the Canucks didn't score when Myers was on the ice. But then, this is what I'm going to get to really quickly. We were at the bowling alley, because that's what you do at a bowling alley, and people were excited. I know me and Sean both screamed and cheered, so you can't admit, I mean, we can't say truly that we want them to lose because we were cheering. So Connor Garland scores, beautiful deflection off a Quinn Hughes shot, and Hughes and PD get the assist. And then Kuzmenko scores on a really nice play. He takes the puck out of the zone, fights off a couple Predators, gets the puck over to Miller, goes straight to the net. Miller does a half shot, half pass, and Kuzmenko with a beautiful deflection with only 15 seconds remaining. And I admit, yeah, I get that it's better if the Canucks lose, but I did scream because I guess I still want them to win. I can't change that. So I screamed when they scored in a good way, and now we go to OT. Nothing happens in OT, and then Granlund gets stopped. Kuzmenko gets stopped. Duchesne scores. He's been around forever. And then JT Miller, it says failed shot attempt. I can't remember what happened to him. Actually, I didn't see that one. And then Yossi gets stopped, but then Pettersson gets stopped by the blocker. Canucks outshoot them 39-26. They get out face off. I don't worry too much. Special teams, a saw off. Same penalty minutes. Hits basically even, blocks a few more for the Predators. And then you look at the Canucks. Garland has 2 points, a goal and assist. Kuzmenko has 2 goals, and Quinn has 2 assists. So those are the leaders when it comes to points. Then you have Pettersson, Beauvillier, and Kuzmenko. That line is a +3, which is awesome. Quinn Hughes is a +3 because he usually plays with them. On the minus side, brutal. -2s for Di Giuseppe and Besser. They were on the ice for at least that first Nashville goal. And then Stillman -2. And Wallena takes that Willanen takes that other -1. You add those up, -3 for Myers because he was on the ice for all four Nashville goals. Myers was brutal tonight. We got to call a spade a spade. Bear had 5 shots on net. Kuzmenko had 5 shots on net, and then Garland had 6. So those were leaders in shots. Hits, you have 4 each from Miller and Dries, and then 5 from Kyle Burrows, taking up for Luke Shen. And then look at that. Quinn Hughes, 30 minutes of ice time. 30 minutes for Quinn Hughes. And then it looks like 26 for Miller, 25 for Petey. And then low man was Podkolzin with 8. Stanika with 6. And Joshua with 10. So what usually happens is any coach usually plays all 4 lines for the first 2 periods. And then for the third period, depending if you're trying to win or trying to defend a lead, you usually drop from 4 lines down to 3. So you take your top 2 lines, and then you combine your bottom 2 lines, those 6 players, you take the 3 best, whoever's going of your bottom 6, and you make them your third line for the game. Whether, like I said, whether you're trying to catch up or you're protecting a lead. So that's why you see a lot of the ice times vary, especially in the third period. So Canucks fans, I guess, you can start typing it now, but I'm not going to read your answers yet. So one question is, quite frankly, are you happy with the result? Be honest. Would you have preferred if the Canucks won because you still want the Canucks to win? Would you prefer the Canucks didn't get a single point because we want them to sink? Or are you happy? Or are you happy that they got one but not both? And IC says, went back and listened again. First one was super faint and quiet. Second one was very loud. Yeah, it helps, but it doesn't because I didn't change a single thing. That's the weird thing about it. Fine. So that's what we'll look at the standings real quick, and you look at the entire league. And when you look at the bottom, you guys know that I'm going to focus on these 7 teams down at the bottom. Wait, did Montreal win tonight? Yes. So Montreal won. So now they have a bit of separation over Vancouver. Vancouver gets a point. Chicago won and Anaheim lost. I think that's what happened. Yes, Anaheim lost. Chicago won. Montreal won. So 2 of the other 6 teams won, and Anaheim and Vancouver got a point. So that's where everyone is right now. 52, 49, 49, 47, 43, 41, and 41. So there's the recap with the Canucks. I think someone gave me feedback that I don't talk about Canucks enough but tonight, hopefully that was a good breakdown of the game. Last 2 or 3 minutes, I'll talk about Luke Shen, and then I'll turn it over to all of you. Remember, this is the night I can't go too late because I have to be at my church by midnight. Now, Luke Shen made the road trip, but then was sent home. Took a flight home, and there's a bit of speculation that, maybe his wife is going to give birth early, who's due in early March. But no, it is. All the reports have been that it's about it's trade related. We don't know if it's going to happen tonight or tomorrow or if anything's imminent. They could simply they might have a trading partner already. They just haven't announced it yet. They might not have a trading partner already, and they simply want to make sure he doesn't get hurt. But we know that we are awaiting a trade, and that's why I named the vlog Luke Shen on the verge of being traded. Now, having said that, we of course are all waiting to find out who he's going to and what we are going to get back. And that's not rocket science. That's what happens when you make a trade. You find out who he's going to and what we're going to get back. Duncan, I would do that on another show, maybe on a show where, excuse me, closer to the draft. Because right now, I spent time talking about the game already, and tonight's the one night where I can't be late. But I will do that definitely for sure in the next little bit. Thank you, Duncan, for the suggestion. I will say this. I'll be fine with any of the 6 forwards, whatever order you want to take. Bedard, Michkov, Fantilli, Will Smith, Carlson, and I'm missing one. But yeah, I'd be fine with any of the top 6 forwards. Yeah, actually, I see. Good point. I know I keep talking about the horn. I'm not sure, but you might have been talking when you played the first horn and was silent when you played the second horn. Yes, someone was telling me about the setting that I haven't looked into just yet. Hopefully I'll have time to do so tomorrow. Tonight I came straight from bowling. Okay. Luke Shen. So he's a character guy. Rick Tockett said he talked to him already and that he's a character guy, a real pro. Let's not get our hopes up that Luke Shen will get traded for whatever, a second, third, fourth round pick. Who knows what it's going to be. And that he's going to magically re-sign here in the summer. It is very rare that, it's very rare that a guy comes back to the team that he got traded from. You never know. The team that picks him up might want to keep him. He might get a way better offer from another team. It's too hard to say, too hard to predict right now where Luke Shen is going to wind up. All we can do is wait and see. And let's remember this: Luke Shen on our team is maybe the most consistent right shot D-man. He's better than Stillman. He's better than Myers. He's better than Burrows. He's better than Pullman. So Shen on our team is a top 2 D-man, which isn't great, but he played with Hughes all the time. You can certainly say he was a top 4 D-man for sure. On a contending team, he's the third pairing guy on the right side, or maybe even the first healthy scratch, like the 7th D-man. But I don't think you're trading for a guy. Oh, maybe you're trading for a guy if you're a contender to have his insurance. And if you have 6 guys, especially 3 on the right side of that are better than Luke Shen, then that's good. That's a great sign for your team. And it's not an insult to Luke Shen at all. So let's not kid ourselves and think we're going to get a first rounder for Shen. I know some people are hoping for a second rounder. I'd be thrilled if the Canucks get a second rounder for Shen. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I see it. My guess is going to be a third rounder, but that remains to be seen. So I will do my mid-show sponsor read now, and then I would love to hear your comments, either about the game. Talk to me about the game. Talk to me about how bad Myers was or any standouts to you. Talk to me about what the result meant to you, good, bad, or indifferent. And talk to me about Luke Shen. Are you sad? Are you happy? Do you think it's a good move for the Canucks? And what do you expect to get back? So I'll answer all your questions, but none that were typed before this. I'm glad that you guys are talking to each other, but I'll definitely read some of your questions in a second. So hold on to them. You can start typing them up. Just don't press enter yet. Well, do whatever you want, but I might not read it yet. Let me do my mid-show sponsor read and a reminder about tomorrow as well. Thank you to my primary sponsor, Vancity Express Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. You can sign up now for a free 21-day weight loss challenge, ptformweightloss.com/CanuckClay, and Coach Patrick will contact you. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the code tinyurl.com/VessiClay and get a free pair of socks valued between $15 and $20. Don't forget that tomorrow I am doing my member live stream. So this is actually really good timing for anyone who became members in the past couple days, either gifted or on your own accord. I will be doing a live stream similar to this, but for all of you. So there, even if all members show up, there's only 45 of you, but let's say only 50% of you show up. So it'll be a stream of just 20 of us. So I basically read every single thing that you type, as long as you're not being disrespectful or making fun of me. So join me. I will put the link on my membership page, my community tab tomorrow. So that's for members of all levels, franchise, Hall of Fame, and legend. That'll be at 10 p.m. We'll go for 45 minutes. I'll take a quick break, and then at 11 o'clock, we'll do the stream for everyone. Okay. Again, a mid-show reminder for you to subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, and get active in the chat section. Let's go. I go for about 20 minutes or so. I don't mind the effort, but we got to be realistic. They got to get a solid draft pick this year. Can you imagine what a Bedard, Fantilli, Mishkov player would do for this team? Why waste that opportunity? I don't think we're going to waste it. I don't see us finishing any worse than fifth or sixth. The Royals have been outscored 23-1 in the last 3 games. Back-to-back shutout loss at home, 7-8. That's not good. That's not good. Fangirl, I have no clue. I actually have no clue where Shen will get traded to. I don't know who needs him. I could see any team though that wants to beef up their blue line. I'm trying to think of any teams that have any injury problems on the blue line right now. The fact that there's no like favorite that we can't say for certain where we think he's going to, I think speaks to the fact that it could be anywhere. I have a feeling it's going to be a team in the East. For some reason, maybe it's because I know that he used to play in Tampa. He used to play in Toronto. I don't know. I'm excited to see where it might be though. Kuzmenko goal was unreal, and while I want them to lose, that was so exciting. That's totally fair. That is totally fair. You're talking about the one with 10, 15 seconds left, I presume. I say the Canucks fought back when they were down 4-2 and tied up in the third period. Great effort. What did you like and didn't like about the game? Who stood out to you? Kuzmenko stood out to me. PD only had 1 point, but he was good. Myers stood out to me for the wrong reasons. Nashville isn't a good team, but they hang in banner just because they got lucky being the Canucks this year. They're a team I want Vancouver to always beat from now on. Okay, Fillmore, me and you both. Does Rathbone get traded? I'm not sure. I hope not. I don't think you're going to get much for him. And I do think that he can still be a player for this team. I really do. Which players have benefited the most under Tocchet? Well, PD has continued a strong play. I think PD in Hughes has been fine. I think that Di Giuseppe has definitely benefited. He's getting a lot of ice time. I think that Stillman has benefited, even though he hasn't been that good. And I think Beauvillier has been good. And yeah, so those are some of the players that I think being good under Tocchet. And I think Podkolzin hopefully will flourish soon. It's finally happened. Myers played his worst game as a Canuck, and all it took was Stillman. I love it when the Canucks win, but I know a lot of people want to tank. By looking at it as even if we tank, it could be hard to get Bedard. Yes, it could be hard to get Bedard, but the difference, Shannon, this year is they're saying that this is a very deep first round, and especially the top 6 or 7 guys are all guys that I wouldn't say they're going to be franchise players, but they're definitely going to be difference makers. And so this is 1 year where, yes, of course you love Connor Bedard, but you might end up with like a Jack Eichel to Connor McDavid. So it might not be so bad. After you saw Shen was going back to Vancouver trade reasons, did you honestly think he was going to get traded today? 50-50. Yeah, no, maybe about 40-60. I thought it was a possibility, but I if I had to bet, I didn't think it was going to be today. What do you think is a realistic return for Shen? A first round pick or maybe a second and a third? Definitely not a first. Definitely not a first. I think the line is gonna. I think if we get anything better than a third, we'll be jumping up and down. But I think a third is where I would put it right now. Can we get a player for Luke or maybe just a draft pick? Thanks. For Shen, yeah, we could get a player, but only if they're 24, 25 years old. I don't think the Canucks are going to trade for anyone unless unless somehow they put OEL on LTIR and then you trade Shen to a team who trades us another bloated contract of a guy who's going to become a UFA, and then we get a better pick because we are weaponizing our cap space. So we could get, we could trade for say a $5, $6, $7 million player, a player who's overpaid, and then we get maybe a second rounder because of that, and then we give them Shen. That's one way where we could actually take advantage of all of our players in LTIR. Top right side D prospect. Yeah, is it Wu? But Wu's been there forever. That's a good question. I'm not sure if any of our like Swedish D are right-handers. Good question. Shen to the Oilers and Nurse to the Canucks. Yeah, I think there's too much of a difference in their salaries, though, Shannon. Mini win for the Tankists tonight and for those rooting for wins. I was pretty happy to see Nashville up 4-2 in final minutes, but also can't hate on the crazy response in the final minute. Totally fair. I think that's a well-balanced take. Barron, Hughes, and Stillman are better than Myers. Yes. I think the fact Tocchet can get a team missing a lot of regulars to play hard and fight like they have under him says a lot about Tocchet. I agree. By the way, Boudreaux was on Donnie and Dolly. It was good today. 1 point is better than 2, but also 1 is better than 0. That's good math, Justin. If the Canucks weaponize all their cap space, especially now with OEL and IR, who do you think gets moved at the deadline? Well, remember, if you're on IR, your salary still counts against the salary cap. You had to move a guy to long term, and then that money doesn't count. So, having said that, I don't know. Are you asking who we move out, or are you asking what contract might we take? I don't know, Whitney. I think that's a really good question. I'd have to really look into it a little bit. But I'm sorry, I can't answer that a little better. If you're asking who the Canucks might move, last night I said that Shen would likely be moved, and maybe one of Garland or Besser. Do you think the Canucks made some sloppy plays tonight, or are they consistent? No, they're pretty sloppy in their own end. They made some mistakes. Do you think our new guy starts with a K and ends in an O will get a new contract next year? Carol, he actually has Hsmfangirl has a new contract already, a 2-year contract. What would be your reaction to the NHL as a player with autism? Well, it wouldn't make a difference to me. It'd be great, but as long as that player was able to play at a high enough ability to play. Forget the contract. Who would I keep? Garland, Besser? Besser. I think Besser's the better player, and he's paid he gets $2 million more. Top 4 are franchise players, by the way, Clay. Slav would go at most 5th overall if he was eligible this year. Okay, so the top 4. So you're talking about Bedard, Michkov, Fantilli, and who's your 4th? Hey, Brian, any pick for Shen is good enough for me. Something is better than nothing. Do you think Miller could be a possible target on getting traded before his contract next? Yep, I think it's possible. All right, hypothetical Pat. Clay, would you rather be the next Pope, the next mayor of Vancouver, the next Canucks owner, the next Mr. Beast, or Clay Emo in his 20s again? Well, that Clay Emo in his 20s again, that guy was a stud. And then that means I could marry Gil, I could have Sean, have Jacob. That all happened in my 20s. I was in my physical prime, which isn't saying much. I don't want to be the next mayor of Vancouver. The next Canucks owner, I think that'll be tricky. Next, Mr. Beast. I do like his content. Next Pope, that's a tough job. I'll go with Clay Emo in the 20s, followed by the next Mr. Beast, and then the next Canucks owner. Jack, I think Riley was actually paying a compliment to those people who have autism. It wasn't an insult. I'm pretty sure, knowing Riley, he meant it as a compliment. I'm hearing Bruins close to potential trade for Gavrikov, but do you think they get rid of Carlo and get Gavrikov and Shen to go all in? Maybe Canucks can take on Carlo for Shen and picks. I did not think of that. That's a great point. Was I expecting that crazy ending in the third period? No, but I also wasn't watching because I was bowling. What player, when we get for the trade deadline? I don't expect any player. I think we got to get picks. Kuzmenko is really increasing his popularity in Vancouver. I think Tocchet benching him was a wake-up call, and he responded very well. Yeah, he's been great, and he's fighting me now for Pepsi sponsorship. No idea, Edmund. I'm saying a team in the East, though, just because. What kind of players would we get from the deadline? Again, I think picks as opposed to players. I think Besser is definitely getting traded. Can fetch a low first rounder. Still young. Sign is proven. Like most first rounders. Yeah, but he's very expensive. So I think you're going to have to retain salary on him, which isn't great. Gavrikov and Shen would bolster a decor of Lindholm and McAvoy's top 4. Grizzlick and Clifton could be moved down to the third pair. Yeah. Are they that thin? I didn't know they were that thin on D. Carlson, a 6'3" center. Yes, that's the name. Thank you, Jack. I wouldn't mind Puyarvi. I liked him the year he got drafted. I was hoping he'd fall to us. I wouldn't mind Puyarvi here. Myers is good for a couple of things, but he's best at getting the puck out of our own end. He's the best at getting the puck out of our own net, Tyler. I actually don't think he's good at getting the puck out of our own end. In fact, he rarely makes a good breakout pass. He usually dumps it up the glass or turns it over. Hey, Byrne. Nice to see you. Bruins need cap space to sign Pasta. Thank you. Do you see Rathbone getting a shot this season? No, not this season, unless there's more injuries. But if OEL is out for the rest of the year, then yeah, we didn't have any extra D-man today, right? With Shen going back, so maybe Rathbone does get a chance. By the end of this year, I think the Canucks will have, what do they have now? They have 49 points in 57 games. Is that right? 49 and 57 times 82. Yeah, maybe 70 or 71. Would you rather use the LTIR money to take on bad contracts this year to get multiple draft picks, or would you rather use the money to get assets to immediately trade for top 4 defensemen? I want the draft picks this year because you can package them. Picks are power. I do think Shen will get traded this week. Take care, DSS. I wonder with Jesse Priarvi, the media pressure, being a top pick was too much. Yeah, it's funny. He's a very talented guy for sure. Very talented. Clay, what spot you think will finish overall in the tank standings? Tough to predict. I'll say 5th worst. I think Chicago, Columbus, and Anaheim, we won't be that bad. And one of Arizona or San Jose will finish below us. And one of Arizona or Arizona, San Jose will finish above us. What do you think went wrong with Spencer Martin? He's still struggling even in Abbotsford. Yeah, I think he has a lack of confidence right now for sure. But prior to that, to lead to his lack of confidence is we are not a good defensive team. Which players will leave the team next year? DSS, I thought you said bye. If you're talking about this summer, if Shen's traded, all of our UFAs are spoken for. Di Giuseppe is actually a UFA, but he might re-sign here. And then, actually, Burrows and Bovenlander are UFAs. And then RFAs, we got to make a decision on Ethan Bear and Travis Dermott. What is LRT money? I think, was that LTIR? That's long-term injury reserve. If you put a guy on long-term injury reserve, i.e. they're out for more than 3 weeks or 10 games, then you don't, it's not dollar for dollar, but it goes into a calculation where then you get some, you can go over the cap by X amount of money. So again, you can't think of it dollar for dollar, but picture it this way. If you put OEL on long-term injury reserve of a 7.2 million, actually it's technically 8.2, Arizona's picking up 1 million of it. Of that 8.2 prorated, so a third of that can be used in LTIR money because there's a third of the season left. So technically you could bring on a guy that, you can bring on a guy onto your roster. So a team could trade you another bad contract to help them out. And then you can also try and get an asset from them for doing them the favor of taking a bad contract. That's what they call weaponizing cap space. I think Canucks will sit some stars like Verbata did in the last 10 games and play mostly AHL players. Very possible. I think many of the Canucks problems could be solved by Velmika. Can it be done? Would you like to see it done? You know, I don't know enough about him. Where does he play? He's a goalie, right? But and I don't know enough about him, to be honest with you. Puyarvi reminds me of Zach Maslan. Zach Cassian? I'm not sure. A change in scenery may help. Do you think Demko could start against Boston, assuming he backs up on Thursday? Yes, if he backs up on Thursday, I could see him playing at home on Saturday against Boston. Take care, DSS. Do you think the Canucks re-sign Bear? I think they will. I think they're seeing how good he is. Thoughts on Pete and Miller, especially in faceoffs since Horvat got traded? I think they've been okay. Yeah, they've been fine. Tonight was a rougher night. They lost 60% to 40%, but overall, they've been okay. Not great, but they've been okay. Well, 100 of you in here. That is awesome. Make sure you like the video. There's only 30 likes. We should get up to about 50 or so with 100 of you in here. But thank you, everyone. Fair contract for Bear. Yeah, right now he's making 1.8. Yeah, I think he's going to want closer to 2.5, Duncan. So maybe I only go 2 or 3 years with him at 2.5. Carlo's intriguing right-hand D, which the Canucks lack. 26-year-old, which fits into the junior age group. And 4.1 cap it for the next 4 years. Yeah. Oh, I'll take that over Myers for sure. Great point, Justin. Thank you for that. Cody, I don't know. I just think a team in the East maybe. Super anxious for March 3rd. Emotional attachment to players will be torn. Yeah, that's the tough part about trade deadlines. But we got to look big picture, Francis. Big picture. that it's time to improve this team. Arizona goalie, Velmick, thank you. Demko being out for months and his first game back being Boston sounds like a real treat. Yeah, I guess you could rest him, but Delia or Seelow's going to get shelled. If he's ready, you play him. Truly, if he's ready. I think Bear is at 1.8 Rome, not 2.2. I'm looking at cap friendly right now. If Pettersson doesn't want to be captain, who would be the next best option? Hughes, if PD doesn't want it. Yeah, I don't know about the superstition behind numbers, but I hear what you're saying. Hit the like button. There you go. I don't mind Hughes being captain. He's always well-spoken. Yeah, once you got it, sounds like he's sleeping, though. They're listening to offers, I heard, and might have to trade him for cap space reasons. Pasta's going to be like 10 to 11 million, plus Lindholm and McAvoy taking top 2 minutes there. Well said, Justin. Thank you. What would you do if the Canucks were worse next season than they are? I sure hope not. It's funny. I see that's actually a really good point because my son Sean and I were trying to convince my wife Gail that it's not going to get any worse. Like, we've been lucky to go in for 4 season tickets in the lower bowl. We're lucky. We haven't been stuck. We haven't had to fire sell them. We've done okay, and we've been able to give some away to members and stuff, but or contests. But yeah, I wouldn't want another season as bad as this. We might be as bad results wise, but at least if there's a plan and there's less drama, then I think I think we'll be able to sell. I really do. Boy, only a couple more minutes here. I'll go fast. Oh, thank you, Rome. I forgot about that. I did not know about the retain. That helps a lot. Thank you for that, Rome. So it is 2.2. Good. The fourth time someone's asked me where I think Shen is being traded to. I don't know. I think it's going to be a team in the East. Yes, thanks for the correction on the retaining of salary. I appreciate it. They're probably waiting to see who they get in the draft before picking a captain. Yeah, I'm not sure what difference that would make, Grant. Schedule's kind of weird that we come back to face the... Yes. Yeah, I don't know why they just didn't go Dallas and then have Boston at home. It is kind of strange. Price tag 3.5. Wow, that's expensive, but maybe. Hopefully it's not that much. If we drafted Connor Bedard, do you make him captain? No, I don't think so. I think Shen will be in Calgary and Edmonton. Canucks don't mind divisional trade, and Alberta teams are desperate. Okay, it depends what we get. Since Justice mentioned Carlo, thoughts on potential Hughes and Carlo? Yeah, I'd find that interesting. Can Carlo... How's his skating? Can he keep up? Sounds like a deal could happen tomorrow. Wow. Kuzmenko could be the unsung hero. Yep. Shen to the Leafs. Yeah, I was thinking maybe Tampa. I don't know if Tampa needs him, but maybe it's a team that's not at the top but wants to push towards the top. Shen and Tanev in Calgary will give Canucks fans nightmares. Yeah, Marky's struggling. Name captain on home opener, perhaps. It's a good way to build some hype. No, Erwin, I've never recalled a season as crazy as this. Did anyone ask where Shen may go? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe somewhere in the East, Coach Rob. That was pretty funny. Okay, for the last 2 minutes, I'll highlight as many as I can as soon as I do this. Okay, so I'm going to try... Okay, hold on. Who has looked worse, Markstrom or Demko before? I think Markstrom's been bad. Where's Shen not going? I like that for sure. Okay, I'm going to highlight Carol's, and I'm going to just talk right through this now, and let's see if that makes a difference. So shout out to Carol. Let's give some love to Carol in the chat. Hey, my friend, could you please pray for me tonight? You make me chance and I may have to move again. Yes, Carol, I'll message you later this week, and I'll definitely pray for you tonight during my adoration hour. Thank you for the donation, and you guys let me know if you heard that goal horn. Last thing, last 2 minutes. Where do you think, or where do you want Luke Shen to be traded to? I will read some of the best, or I'll read some of your answers. Huberdeau or Miller, based on this year so far? I think the Miller contract will still age. I think Huberdeau's got more in him. Shen to Calgary and Canucks take Lucic in a salary and D prospect Connor Mackey. That's interesting. Bovillier has been doing well here. Vilmika is the Coyote starter, going on 2 years now. He routinely makes 40 saves performances, but he's getting tired of getting slaughtered. He may want to have a club that doesn't leave him dry. Well, then he wouldn't want to come to Vancouver. Islanders. Calgary. Loud for me. Confusing as confusing as the Canucks penalty kill. Yeah, that's weird. Calgary, Toronto, or Tampa. You know, I'm with you, Fangirl. I have a feeling it might be a team that he's played for before. Carolina. Okay. I'll read responses for one more minute. Where might Luke Shen go? We got Brian saying the Leafs. And by the way, let me know how. Okay, this is last. So I'm warning you. Like, take your earbuds, earbuds. That's what I'm trying to say. Take them all. I'm gonna try playing the goal horn without saying anything. Here we go. 3, and I want you to tell me if it's too loud. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was without me saying a single thing. How loud was that? They need to get Dana Merson. Toronto. Imagine Shannon Myers going into Toronto. Toronto. Wow, a lot of Toronto. Anywhere but Leafs, Bruins, or Pacific. Trade him to Boston for a cup shot and then bring the cup back to Vancouver with $800K deal in the summer. Yeah, that's wishful thinking. Flames so we can laugh while they want our ex-players. Hopefully it's Tampa Bay, Toronto, or the Islanders. Okay, yes, loud. Pittsburgh makes sense given connection with Alvina and Rutherford. Still loud. Teams in East won't trade for Shen knowing he has a baby due soon. I don't know about that. You could. Yeah, that's a tricky one for sure. It was really loud. See, you know what's interesting is you guys can't even agree on whether it was loud or just right. So I think maybe everyone hears it differently. I think Shen goes to the Leafs. I kind of thought that until today that he might stay. That's fair. Good, loud. Coach Rob, thanks for the offer. I will text you. Yeah, I will take care of that tomorrow, you guys, for sure. For me, volume has always been the same. It sounds like you get quiet when the horn sounds. If the horn is too loud, you're too old. Easy there, bug. Shampoo saying it's perfect. Shen for Stetcher and picks. Then Shen returns in the summer and all Canucks fans are happy. Yeah, because then we have Shen and Stetcher on our right side. And on that note, I got to get going, you guys. I got to get going to my church hour. So thank you for your support. As always, moderators, thank you. Looks like you didn't have to do too much, which is a good thing. Members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Don't forget, we have a members live stream at 10 p.m. tomorrow. I'll send the link out by mid-afternoon. I'll put it on the community tab for members only. So 10 o'clock, members live stream, then 11 o'clock for everyone. Thanks to everyone who donated tonight. I think it was Carol and who was the first one? Was it Harry? Carol and Harry, thank you. Thank you. Thanks to everyone who new subscribers and anyone who stuck around in the chat as well. Tomorrow, no Canucks game. They're traveling, I'm sure, to St. Louis for their Thursday game. I have game over on Thursday, but I can remind you of that all tomorrow. So tomorrow night, 10 o'clock members, 11 o'clock stream for everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss. And again, thanks to all of you. I always appreciate you. Never take you for granted. On the way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, listing on a podcast platform, rate and review. And I hope to see all of you tomorrow night at 11 p.m., 10 p.m. for all of you members. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And at work today, by accident, I accidentally swallowed a bunch of Scrabble tiles. I'm not sure why we have Scrabble at work, but I accidentally swallowed a bunch of Scrabble tiles. My next trip to the bathroom could spell disaster. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.